millions around the world have waited for.
We will allow you to enjoy all of this. They are dancing in the pubs of Dublin. Harrington with an ace.
And we have a shining star at sunset. Rory continues his run to greatness.
The return to glory.
Hey guys, hello and welcome to the first of the Bogey Men's live podcast from the Open Championship here at Royal Portrush. We are in, is it Kelly's or is it Golf Links? Golf Links Park, right across the road from Royal Portrush Golf Club.
We are a pitching wedge from the first green.
Maybe a pitching wedge for you.
Well, that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
I may have gunned it. Okay, we're very, very close. You can see it literally from just outside the door.
We are indeed. And so obviously all the live streams and the coverage that we've been bringing you from the 153rd Open Championship is brought to you in partnership with Opel and the all-new stunning Grandland SUV. With class-leading technology and a pure and bold design, the Grandland redefines Grand. The Grandland is available in hybrid or electric. Go Grand this July with a 252 Opel Grandland. Book your test drive now at your local Opel dealer. Prices start from €39,065 or from €330 per month. Terms and conditions apply. See Opel.ie for details. Today's been a long time coming, I guess, in every sense. 6 years since Shane Lowry famously won here, and 6 years since Rory had an 8 here. Poor Harrington was hitting the ceremonial first tee shot. Called ceremonial as if like he'd been put out to pasture or retiring. And we were kind of asking ourselves this earlier on the week. Would Porig like doing this and like having this? Or do you see it as a bit more of a slight being like, you know, lads, I'm not retiring. I'm still here.
I'm here to. I want to win this.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a fair question, knowing what Harrington is like. But
yeah. Especially considering with the Masters, it's like, you know, it's Jack and it's Gary and those guys who aren't competing anymore. Is this kind of a similar thing to
with
that?
Clark, he hadn't made the cut in a long time. You know, his game wasn't like Clark. Darren had only made the cut last year, but hadn't made the previous 4 or 5 or something like that. So that was very much ceremonial, and it was like, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I think it was a fair question to ask: what was Harrington's feeling on it? But who we've talked to, apparently he was very honoured, and I think what surprised me was actually how emotional he got.
Yeah,
doing it. That surprised me. I didn't think he would. You know, I don't think he teared up, but he was generally emotional with it. That did surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking to someone who was and is very close to Porig, who was like, no, he loves that. He's all about that. It's amazing. In case you didn't know, we were talking to Ronan Flood yesterday. So
yeah, and that was in yesterday's pod. So if you want to stick it on the background. After this one, feel free, and you can even skip into the Ronan Flood chat.
So we do have to begin this conversation and this podcast by just being pretty open and honest about the fact that we didn't make Porig's opening tee shot, and that's totally on me. Gonna be hands up. That was on me.
That was on you.
One of us needed an extra 15 minutes of sleeping in because we've been burning the candles at both ends. You know?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been. Yeah, and we will again tomorrow. We'll be up early, but when we did get there, we
won't be up that early. I'm gonna be sorry, guys. Roy tees off at 10 minutes past 10 or 9 minutes past 10 tomorrow.
You'll be there at 8 minutes.
We'll
past
be there
10.
at 8 minutes past 10. We're not going to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
We did end up actually only missing the tee shot by maybe 5-6 minutes. But what we did do, I thought, was it's something I hadn't experienced before, and I might talk about it later. But like, Harrington birdied the first, and that roar from that stand and people around, I've never been to a major, and you hear the tiger roar and all that sort of stuff, but like that was really cool for me. And then good friend of the pond, myself, Gareth Evans, were sitting on 18th tee, and Rory came up. Rory birdied the second, and obviously you can see just across onto the second hole. And as we were watching the 18th tee, we heard this massive roar. Yeah, I looked at Gareth and went, that was really cool.
It was cool, isn't it?
And that to me, that's what kind of stood out to me about being a major. Obviously, there's so many things we can go into, but that felt is big time.
Yeah.
This is serious. Like, this is the stuff I've been watching my whole life.
It's major in every sense. Like, you've been to Irish Opens, you've been to a couple of other professional
The
events.
fifth major, which I like to call the Irish Open.
Yeah.
But this is definitely bigger.
You can the roars are almost at a point where you feel them rather than even just hear them. Like, they
catch you by surprise.
Couple
Yeah.
100 yards away up the hill on the first green.
Yeah.
Like, we were at the walkway between the first tee box and the first fairway, and you could feel it and you could hear it, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is like, that's intense. And it was also like, it's the first group of the day, first game of the day, first hole of the day. It almost, I feel like, set a tone for what we have to come.
Yeah.
You know, the dream of Porrick, you know, reeling back the years, died pretty quickly.
Yeah, like, I
After
mean,
that, if we're going to be completely honest.
yeah, +4, and like we've still got the golf in there, and Bryson's +5, and
Yeah.
I think we were speaking about it before we came on. Is like, you really want Bryson and Harrington there for Saturday, Sunday, even if they're not even near the hunt. You want them to be there because you want to go and see different parts of them. You want to see if they can do something special.
Yeah.
So listen, tomorrow's another day. You never know what Harrington could do tomorrow. You know, obviously his main aim now will be the cut, and same with Bryson. But yeah, I think I think tomorrow will be really cool to be, especially because we're going to have another live pod after tomorrow watching the cut line. I think that's where I'll probably kind of go out and see different people, you know, on the cut line. I think that'll be a really cool thing to look at.
Yeah, I mean, like, also obviously we're still watching the first round coverage. The Open is still ongoing. We wanted to probably have a bit of a chat whilst Rory is still going on. It turns out that Rory kind of made things very interesting for us in the last 4 holes, 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes. He's even par for the day. We're going to probably get into him as kind of the day, as this coverage is going on over these like 30 odd minutes that we're doing this. In case you haven't listened to podcasts that we've been doing every day, they've only been between 30 and 40 minutes, so this stream will probably be about the same. We could easily get into like a 2-hour thing, but Gareth, who's sitting in the corner watching the coverage, would just fall asleep and be bored out of his mind because he's just not allowed to talk or even move. So we're going to keep it snappy, and we're going to try and get through as much of this as possible.
So yeah, we probably jump to the leaderboard.
Sure. Okay.
So the guys, I think we start with the guys at the top. It's a strange-ish leaderboard in terms of there's a bit of a separation between lads up the top. Okay, we have like, you know, if you go the top 5, we've one major winner in the top 5.
Yeah, so, well, Harris English is in there, Jakob, Skov, Olesen, who won the British Amateur up in Ballyliffin last year.
Against Tiernan.
No, that was...
Oh,
that was this year.
That was this year.
Gavin
Sorry,
Durham
yeah.
lost this year. That was Ethan Fang.
That was Ethan Fang, who I actually did watch. I was actually impressed with him.
Yeah,
today.
so Jakob Olesen won it in Ballyliffin last year. Then Haotong Lee, who we were saying he's a man that, like, you never really know what to get what you get with Haotong. Like, he misses like 5 or 6 cuts in a row.
Yep.
And then wins out of nowhere.
Yep.
So I can't tell you that he's going to go and shoot another 4 under tomorrow. I don't think anyone can.
He's one of those lads in like our DP World Tour fantasy thing. You're putting him in like he's either going to miss the cut and mix or he's going to win the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's where kind of he is. And then Bezadenhout, I'm a big fan of his. You know, the kind of background story to him, you know, being a child, picking up the can of Coke and there was rat poison in it, ended up getting really, really sick. He needed to take beta blockers. It gave him a stammer because he was so unwell, and then he ends up getting banned because beta blockers were banned. We tried to explain the story. You know, there's a lot going on there. Another kind of South African, but a great narrative around him. A really solid golfer.
Matt Fitzpatrick kind of making a bit of a resurgence over the last few weeks. This is a very important week for him, Ryder Cup wise. He needs the points, so he's not reliant on a pick.
He also coming in with zero form.
I know. I also don't know if, even if he did well this week, I would still necessarily want him on the Ryder Cup team just because he doesn't have any form to base it off of, and his Ryder Cup record is horrendous.
Yeah, I saw that before this week. It's really bad, his record.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Like it's really, really bad. And then you don't have Billy Foster there just to start a fight. So
yeah, Billy might be on the other team. He might be with the Americans this time around.
Have you not? So I won't repeat it, but in other certain terms, apparently, I don't know if it was Colin asked him or one of the Collins, someone asked him, and like Colin was in earshot, and Billy was like, Colin can go F himself. I'm never, ever carrying a USA bag, which I love that it's so in like, I mean, obviously, Sevi, Westwood, like he's like he's quite clearly been European. He got that award from Luke for caddying so many times, but he's just like, I will never pick up a USA bag. I was like, there's his deep-hearted, and he's a Leeds fan, so I don't really like that, but I do respect his die-hardness.
Yeah. Can we stick real quick with the Poor Harrington group?
Yeah.
So Poor Harrington was playing with Nikolai Højgaard and then obviously Tom McKibben. There was a post put up on bygolf.com of 6 a.m. round 1 at the Open Championship versus 6 a.m. round 1 at the PGA Championship, both of which featured Porik, which, I mean, I hope he likes early mornings. It seems like that's becoming like a regular thing for him.
Yeah.
And there was no one at the PGA Championship. Now, I mean, it's, whoever's teeing off tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, I imagine they're not going to get that same kind of reception.
No, but I think there will be a lot more than was at the PGA.
Yeah, probably. But Tom McKibben, his opening round had everything, right? So 2 early bogeys.
Sorry, and we watched this group for a good
Yes,
few
we
followed 6,
walked the
7
front
holes.
line with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 2 early bogeys followed by a brilliant eagle on 7.
Oh,
Great drive past Big Nelly. Left himself probably a 3 win there. It's a long old hole.
Yeah.
And had a great putt up the bank, up from one tier onto the upper tier.
Monster
Lovely
drive.
little putt. Yeah.
That was a monster of a drive.
So, was it yourself who was saying that you watched him during the practice round?
Yeah, I watched him in the practice round, and I was worried because a lot of people had him as a pick and pretty much a member of it. Like, he is a member. He's played here. I think he said he played here over 70 times, and people had him as a pick. And I watched him in the practice round, and he couldn't hit a fairway. He was struggling, and so I thought, I don't know. I think it might be a bit much for him. But like, as you said, he was up and down with really good stuff. He got caught in a few false fronts when I was watching, which I thought that's not good. That this place and you're still getting caught.
Yeah,
I know wind and the temperature and stuff makes balls fly differently as well. But I know he was really, really solid today.
Yeah, looked a little bit different to the practice rounds, which is always nice to see. And then he followed that up with another birdie then a 9. That birdie he had 9 was very nice. Good drive, and then just played the conditions very well.
Yeah.
Pitched the ball to shore of the green and just ran up to about 5 or 6 foot, made the birdie putt, makes the turn at 2 under par. And then things really began to unravel a little bit for him. He goes double birdie bogey across 11, 12 and 13, so makes a double on 11, gets one back on 12, but then another bogey. That had him even par before finishing the day off with a bogey on 18. For pretty disappointing, I'd say, like after getting it back, going under par, and then having that wall, and then just the rough birdie on the 18th.
Yeah, I
finish over par. I imagine he's a little bit disappointed, but he's not. He's by no means out of it.
Yeah, and like I do think the weather definitely. I don't think had a massive effect, but it was very different from the early start. Like if you look back at the scores of when scores went into bogeys, it's very much in time with the weather, and then the weather got a little bit better, and scores got better again as well. And I think even now it's it's 8:15. The lads are still out there. It's 18 degrees, little bit of wind, but there's wind. There's no rain, so. Yeah, that's open. That's the open, and I think that had a little bit of an effect on people. Still quite warm out there though. I had the waterproofs on, and actually I was sweating.
Yeah,
I had to kind of take them back off. So it's humid and probably not like a lot of I think we were in Jason Day's post-match or post-round
presser.
Yeah, basically, and he was just saying this place is madness. He's like, I can't get to grips with the weather. It's wet, but it's hot. It's windy, but it's warm. It's cold, and he's like, I just don't know what's going on. So, I think it's a little bit different even then to England and Scotland in that sense.
Do you want to move on to? Well, let's talk a little bit about Jakob Skov Olesen, right?
Yeah.
So, a very interesting guy. He's gone out with was it Darcy Harry on the Ladies European Tour?
On the LET, yeah.
Is it Darcy? It is Darcy Harry. And he actually caddied for her when she won on the LET. She's a rookie on the Ladies European Tour. Interesting relationship. That dynamic. They probably never see each other. Both of them in different parts of the world all the time.
Yeah, that's probably why I was like, I haven't seen you, so I'll just caddy for you. At least I'll see you for the 4 days.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, he won the amateur in by Liffen and then gained his European Tour card or DP World Tour card for this season. qualified his way in, did the hard way, went through qualifying series, got into here. Relative unknown, apart from the fact I think he was at the final group of the Danish Championship, and then finished T5, and that's his best results on the DP World Tour this year. It could be very different now. He's so Harrington. Olesen.
With all due respect, I think it's let's just give him the credit that he's up there now, and let's not expect anything. Everything from here on is a bonus, in my opinion. It's day one. Lads are set even off the course. You know, even the kind of the little chasing pack of the big dogs behind them haven't really hit form yet. They're not on fire. If they do, you know, yeah. I think we just give him the credit for being there, and he just tries and has a tomorrow really solid, real solid day. Nothing big, and see where he is.
Yeah, I agree. You then went out. We had a bit of a break. I got rained on, and I got tired, so I was like, I'm not walking anymore. I need to take a little bit of a nap. Not a nap. I just took a break. I had a sit down. You soldiered on, and you went out onto the golf course. You've been talking about Phil all week, and you wanted to get eyes on him. How was that? Yeah,
I think I watched the Grant stuff, and I kind of not fell in love with Phil, but I just realized he was a character. I said, I want to go out and watch him. I've never seen him in the flesh, and the biggest thing for me was the two boys he played with. The lads, I think they had one open between them, and it was just so evident on holes that they'd hit a shot and it would run off the back and they'd have a tricky chip. They'd miss short, or they'd miss on the right side of the green, which is the wrong side, sort of way. And Phil was just so solid, put it in the right area. He had an unbelievable bunker shot on the third, to save par.
He held that bunker shot.
So he hit a shot, it stayed in the bunker.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, here's bogey. Bang, and he holds the next one. And he gave a little Phil pump. I watched him around. There was crowds with him. There was a good few younger people with him.
Is that the YouTubeification?
I was gonna, so I got to ask him a question. That was one question I was gonna ask him. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe it's just that he's just a legend. And he's a big name in the game. And maybe it was a dad with his son. We're watching Phil. Might be the last time we see him. Whatever.
But last time we see him,
as in, he's not gonna be in Ireland again. Well, you never know. Well. But you know what I mean? It could be one of those things. I really enjoyed watching him. I thought he was very entertaining. A lot of people shouting. He was using the Tiger Slayer putter. A lot of people shouting that at him, and he was giving them thumbs up and happy about it. And it was very enjoyable. So much so when I went in, I just think it was really, really cool. I got to ask him a question.
We won't play the question.
Okay, play the question. Yeah, so. Okay.
You hit some really smart shots today. How much is your open experience was that due to?
I think that when you get conditions like this, you start to fall back on realizing that 60, 80 feet in the proper spot is like a good spot, and you start to realize that you can make 20 or 30 footers out here. You don't have to hit it 6 feet to make birdie. You can hit it 20, 30 feet because the greens don't break a lot. You can hit them aggressively. I didn't make a ton of long ones, but I made a lot of short ones and just a lot of good up and downs and lag putting. But you can you find that going back on past experience, you don't have to press it, you don't have to force it. So
patience seems to be the name of the game.
Yeah, and his game seems to be really solid place. Like, he was still smashing the ball, he was still going after it at times, and I really, really enjoyed following him. And his game was good. It wasn't amazing, but I'm not going to say a clinic. It wasn't a clinic, but it was really, really cool to see someone who goes, I know exactly what I'm meant to be doing on a links course. I know what I'm meant to be doing. I know how I'm meant to get myself around. Would I follow him again? Yeah, I would.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I would. And I would. I think that's probably the kind of praise I'd give him after following him today for 9 holes.
Okay, interesting. You spoke to him, and he spoke a good bit about how conditions got very tough. Jason Day in particular was just like, I don't know what to do with this weather. Yeah. He really seemed to struggle with it. Some of the big names who are struggling, I think let's talk about the fact that Bryson is not in a good place.
Yeah, he's really struggling at the moment.
Like 5 over, 6 over, 5 over now. Is it through 16 holes? Probably going to be more at this point. even on Tuesday during the press conference that he did with us, he spoke about how he is struggling with the wind, struggling with the air and the heavy air is what he called it, as well as just across the board not being comfortable in links golf. We saw him yesterday on the practice round. He was hitting it great. He was driving it unbelievable. But we did also say in the podcast yesterday that the conditions yesterday, the weather, was lovely and sunny, really dry, really hot, and then even the wind was in the complete opposite direction to what it is now. So like it's warm, winds in a certain way compared to what it is now. It's completely opposite. The ball's not going to fly as far, and it's going to be pushed around in a different direction. He seems to be someone that just did not know what to do when this links comes back and bites you and goes.
Yeah, and like there's that one where he ends up flying up to his feet. I was really surprised. Like a lot of the pros and caddies took a long time to check on wind and angle and direction, because it's so hard, because there's not huge big dunes in Portrush.
No.
But there's little hollows and little things, and it's hard to get across. It kind of feels like the wind is swirling a bit. It's not like on other links courses maybe where I've played, and it's like, oh, it's like RCD. It's clearly coming from the sea straight into my face. You don't need to throw grass up. You can feel it. Here it's like it's kind of swirling a little, and it's not as obvious. And
I think that's also routing. Like, it's not an out and back type of links. The holes kind of weave and cut around each other. I mean, like, you're probably playing the same direction. 1, 2, 3.
Here, let me just
maybe 4 as well.
Let me have a quick
5,
look at
my
my players' yardage book, which I actually have some notes in.
Very good.
So yeah, I think it's one of the coolest things ever. By the way, players yardage books. If you ever get your hands on one, it's sick. That to me that was really cool. Sorry.
But then like the course turns and the holes all kind of work their way around the property. It's not your classic out and back, so it definitely does feel like it swirls a bit more.
I think experience is going to be big here. Experience of links. I know the leaderboard as it is at the top.
I'm a little disappointed in Bryson though. I thought that he would have been someone like he's famously called a scientist. He's so analytical and looks so deep into every aspect of his golf game that I really thought that he would have taken this on as a bit more of a challenge and bought into it. Whereas he kind of seemed a little bit conciliatory, being like, "Yeah, I just don't know what to do with this."
I think his ball speed is like I felt a lot of players were hitting controlled Freddie Couples shots. Even Brooks, who I followed for about 11 holes, wasn't hammering the ball. But Bryson just seems to have one thing. Hit it. Okay, that's the yardage. It's 250 yards. I'm going to hit my 9 iron because that's how far I hit it, or whatever. Instead, like, everyone else was really controlling spin and height and that. And I don't know if Bryson... Maybe he doesn't have that finesse in his game. I don't know. Someone might be listening and be like, I'm so wrong on that. And this is purely eye test. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I have nothing to back this up. I'm just going... The way I was watching lads play, it was like, it's like the ball was just the bottom of the swing. It was just lovely. I don't know if Bryson's like... this is my swing speed. I hit it and it should have, because balls are rolling at the back. We've watched him run at the back of greens 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. It just kind of just looks like your classic American who comes play links golf for the first time and goes, Jesus, I don't need to be. I'm running out through every green. But he's played links golf before. Like he should know better than this. I know, but again, I think this course has played differently 3 times today. Yep. I think it's been a different golf course 3 different times, and that's still mind-boggling when you haven't grown up. Like that's what Phil his press conference. He said, I had to learn a lot about this. I didn't grow up with any of this. Yep. And that's before you take Lowry's punch 8s, running it up. Like it's that sort of thing. And Bryson still said only this year has he stopped trying to play with the wind. Yeah. Because it was going too far. Trying to hold it up. And again, you look at the leaderboard. Ricky, we could be back in 2003 here. Westwood is there, which I always loved that.
after what I spoke with in the other podcast about how he qualified, etc. Fowler's there. You know, there's a few kind of lads in around there. Justin Rose is doing really well. Lucas Glover, out of nowhere, you know.
Lucas got off to a very hot start. He went eagle on the second hole, birdie on the third, and that kind of just launched him forward.
Yeah,
he's managed to hold on to it. I'm not taking that away from him, but look, you got to make the eagle in the first place.
Even Sergio Garcia, do you know what I mean? And it's kind of that going, and this is where I think this is really interesting. You've got a kind of lads that are kind of new to it up the top. And you're going, okay, that's what's going on. We don't know that much about them in terms of the big stars. You've got a load of older big stars sitting there going, do they have enough tank in the gas? Is it a flash in the pan? Can they do
Tank
it?
in the gas.
They have enough gas in the tank, sorry. Do you know what I mean? I'm really interested to go. And I think that's why tomorrow is going to be so interesting because you've got these little pockets of groups. Does Rory stay in it here? Boom, kick on. And now he's in the top 3 or 4 tomorrow. Does Scotty do the same? Can Shane do the same? I think tomorrow's we're really interesting, and then around the cut line of where lads drop and they drop quickly.
Yeah. Course setup wise, it's interesting. Like people were, what is going on there? Oh, we're watching back the Estonian. So this is the first Estonian golfer to ever play in the Open Championship, and he qualified through Open qualifying by a chip in on one of the playoff holes. I thought someone came onto the course in Portrush there and like rugby tackled one of the players there. They're really showing that moment. That was like, that was wild.
Yeah, with his mullet.
Yeah, good man.
Very fashionable mullet.
What was I talking about? Got completely distracted. I thought someone got rugby tackled on like with the first fairway there. I was like, that is just wild.
Why I think so? I know we always put this big thing about the first tee, and Rory and McKibben said it was nervous. I found this out. Do you know why it's OB left and right off the first tee?
I imagine it's because there used to be the driving range, or there is the driving range every other week on the right hand side, but I don't necessarily know why left, because it just seems like that's a hazard with all the bushes.
So that's what I thought, and I thought it was kind of like, oh, there's people walking there. So apparently way back, Portrush didn't own the land, they'll own the land left. So they didn't own the land.
Between the 18th and the 1st.
Yeah, they didn't own that. And then they didn't own the land on the right either. The corner between 1st and 18 they didn't own, just that tiny little triangle, and they didn't own the land on the right. So it was out of bounds because it wasn't part of the golf course because they didn't own it.
Right.
So when they were doing it, it was like, we're going to keep it. So actually, it's more historical than genuine reason, which I know they changed a lot of the golf course, even changed from 2019.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool little thing
nice
that
little quirk,
it'll knock back to when it was first there. So I just found that out today, and I thought that was a really cool thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I remember what I was talking about. The conditions and the weather that we've had today. There were warnings of thunderstorms all week. That today's going to be bad. We haven't quite had it. Tyrrell Hatton there, just finishing off. He's in good position, 3 under par. So conditions.
I wouldn't like Hatton to win.
Yeah, no, me neither.
There's some people are fans.
He's not for me.
No, people. Yeah, he's not for me either. But apparently he's got fans.
Yeah,
it's news to me.
Questionable fans. The weather hasn't been as bad for the afternoon people as I was expecting it to be, which makes me a little concerned for guys like Shane and Rory and a couple others that haven't quite kicked on, because I imagine we're probably going to get that weather tonight, and maybe it'll eke into tomorrow morning, but the weather's meant to improve for the rest of the weekend over the next 3 rounds.
Yeah,
and if guys like Scotty are playing well, Matt Fitzpatrick are in good form and up higher on the leaderboard, I would have thought that if those guys were playing in tougher conditions, that they would have created a bit more of a margin between them, and that I think now, like Rory and Shane, or like Rory in particular, because Shane went off in the morning, but Rory has a bit more of an opportunity because the weather wasn't as bad to have shot a bit better of a score and keep himself in there. Because I imagine he went into this being like, all right, if I shoot even par or 1 under, if I get into 2 under in how bad the weather's meant to be, we'll be in a great place. The weather hasn't been as bad as everyone was saying it was going to be, and he's still even par as he's about to tee off on 17 there.
I know where you're coming from. I don't think Rory even looked at anything like that. I don't think he even had a score in mind. I feel we can say we want.
He just missed another fairway.
I think there's obviously there's something going on with his driver. He's
left.
Tugging it left. He's tugged it. I think two greens in regulation today. He's pulled everything left.
That's brutal.
But like, I think it's still so emotional. It's still his home court. Like, he knows nearly every steward from growing up here. Every steward is from every growing up. It's literally about stay in the game, hang around. It's like, and he probably said this to Harry. I'm still Rory. I could put 9 birdies in a round of 18 and shoot myself up there. It's just not have put me out like I did last year. He still didn't hit the fairway in his practice rounds on the first, and he put 2 OB. So it's just a little mental block. I think he walks in, the two of them look at each other, go, all right, let's go attack tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know, I don't think there's one. Okay, we'll fix driver. Don't worry, we'll sit and driver and we'll fix. No problem. Like we'll get it's not the end of the world. But I'm not worried about Rory. I still think Rory will be fighting come Sunday. I think he'll be in great shape. He'll still have a chance on Sunday.
Yeah, I think he could have put himself into a much better position.
I agreed, but I think it's more important he didn't put himself in a bad position. The only thing is that you said this to me earlier. Scotty's -3, so he's already 4 behind Scotty. Scotty is the biggest name in the top 6, 7, 8, and 10, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's
no
best player
offense
in the
to
world.
like, you know, Matthew Jordan or like Harris English or Matt Fitzpatrick or Christian Besaiden, who like
It'd be a massive shock.
I'd expect a bunch of them to
like,
drop down.
It'd be a massive shock if one of them go and do it. And like if they do, it'll be a great story and it'll be one all sorts of stuff.
It's similar to the PGA Championship. Remember round 1 leaderboard on the PGA was very poor. We were very concerned.
Yeah.
And then in the end it was okay. Tee times tomorrow? What's the story?
I will be on site, I think, for...
Can I get the sheet there?
Sorry, yeah. You want the sheet? I will be there for probably 7:08. Adam Scott, Ricky Fowler, Ethan Fang. I kind of talked about that. I think that's 7:08. I'd like to follow Ricky. Fellow man with a tash and some dodgy hair. And then after that, like, I think Garcia, I'm kind of going to look at things and go, do guys from yesterday deserve a look? I think Garcia deserves a bit of a look, even though his clothes are horrendous. In fact, can I say that? So Sergio Garcia's clothes are horrendous, right?
He's dressed like Ronald McDonald half the time.
Tom McKibben was purple pants today. That's my fashion faux pas. I know we're probably jumping to drip watch. Fashion faux pas day was those purple pants. Lovely jumper, no problem with that. Those pants were horrendous.
They were also very tight.
I know,
He's a slim lad.
He's a slim lad. He's not a pick on him, so you can let him have his tight stuff. I would have gone shorter, a bit of ankle on show, but I wouldn't have gone purple. That's it. I don't know. It was bugging me all day in his drip watch.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to follow those guys. I think you will probably kind of jump out maybe a little bit later.
Yeah.
I really think we're in the 10 mark. I think 9:36 is Tyrrell Hatton Minwoo Lee. I might jump back after watching Ricky. Might watch those boys. And then Bryson's at 9:47 with Justin Rose and Bob McIntyre. I think that's the biggest, the first of the tee times that is a featured group, say.
Yeah.
Bryson's gonna have to shoot the lights out to get in. That could be really entertaining. A big group was following him today. I would probably suspect maybe a bigger group in case he doesn't make the weekend.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, which will be a good group, a bit of an underrated group in the afternoon session to watch.
Yeah.
Sepp Straka, Ben Griffin, Akshay Bhatia.
I watched 2 holes of them today. I was caught before Brooks, and I watched 2 of them. Sneakily, really good. Ben Griffin was good, and Akshay Bhatia was very good.
Yeah, and they're only a couple of groups ahead of Shane Lowry, Colin, and Scotty at 3:10 tomorrow. So I mean, you could always catch them for a few holes and then just wait for the rest of the lads to come and catch up.
Yeah, I think. Well, also like 10:09, JT, Fleetwood, Rory.
Yeah,
that's gonna take. I think most people will try and maybe be there, bit of breakfast, a coffee, and that'll be their number one. Mm-hmm. The Rory crowds were big today. The roars were big. I don't think you can go to the Open and not see Rory at least for a hole or two.
Yeah, it's like we were saying on the podcast the other day. Like, if you can jump around to those different viewing points and stay ahead of the group and watch them come to you, and then jump ahead another few holes, I think you'll get a good experience. Especially if you're only coming for 1 or 2 days. Good to get them and good to watch them. it's just always so hard. It's always so hard to see more than 3 shots of theirs. We were following Pork's group there in the morning, and that was really hard to get around the place.
Yeah, it was.
And to actually see them. A few times you were in a good place, you were in a mound, and then all of a sudden a couple of heads just jump in front of you, and you're like, I mean, they're totally entitled to,
of course, yeah,
to do that.
I think I missed 2 Harrington's putts, 2 of his actual approach shots because I thought I'm in a perfect position here, and then someone moved and it was whatever.
How have you enjoyed your like first major? Obviously, it's particularly special that it's in Ireland and it's just up the road from where we live, and it's the Open. How have you enjoyed it? Like the work stuff aside.
I've loved it. I've really today was the first one not the first time, but I love going around and following someone for 2-3 holes, and I've probably picked players like Brooks I followed and Mickelson I followed because I thought there won't be as big a crowds there, and you kind of go on their round with them, and then you see okay, like that putt he'd left short in the last one, so now you really watch the next putt, and I've really enjoyed it. The shop is amazing.
I disagree. The shop, the selection in the shop is not good.
I see where you're coming from.
Sorry,
I see where
to the Open.
I know where you're coming.
It's not good.
There's a bit of it it's like they've gotten what's in McGurk's now and just slapped an Open crest on.
Yeah, honestly, like if you're coming down and looking to spend a load of money on a nice quarter zipper hoodie, don't. Like there's lovely flags and there's loads of like really cool
souvenir knickknacks.
Souvenirs. Like that, I've got plenty of. I got like the quiet please sign and all the rest of that. That stuff's great. Love that. Buy into that big time. But like, it's all like the Hugo Boss stuff is like, again, you get in McGurk's and it's the same price as the stuff from McGurk's, if not more expensive.
It's more like the Peter Millar stuff is like, I love the Peter Millar stuff. I think there's about €25 on top of what you pay for one.
Just like,
but like, you have to get something. You have to get a polo. You have to get a jumper. I think that's one thing you get at a major.
Yeah.
You know, and
hat.
I know the hats are great. All the Nick and stuff are great. I've absolutely loved the Open. I don't think I knew how big the grandstands were, how incredible looked the view from standing on tee boxes and going, okay, they got to nip around there, and everything just feels major and big.
Tyson White says, "Let's go, Ricky." Yeah, he caught me by surprise.
Yep,
I'll be honest.
He did. I don't know if anyone saw it. He did a really kind of cool video. It was like spend the day with me, and it was like a 1.5, 2 minute him wearing a GoPro around. That was really cool because I went into player dining and stuff as well.
Okay. I might try follow Ricky for a few holes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Ricky
in years, probably
Ricky in person.
Drip watch.
Yes.
There's one man to start with, and Jason Day. Okay, and I might probably talk about this every day. Wasn't a fan of the jumper.
The daily day.
The daily day. The visor looked cool. The baggy pants looked cool. Didn't like the jumper. It was like,
I like the cardigan. I thought it was nice.
Cardigan's fine. I just didn't like the whole design on it. It was
like
there was too much going on.
It's like a king of like hearts, like a
kind of looked like
suits of like
kind of like
a cards type of thing.
Kind of looked like that woman from Alice in Wonderland.
The Queen of Hearts.
Yeah. Not for me.
Not for you.
Now, other stuff he's worn is deadly. The stuff he wore, the rain gear he has.
The stuff he wore the other day, yeah, the practice round. That was really good.
Really good.
That was great. I was a big fan of that.
You brought up Rory looked really classy.
Yeah, he's like, it's a simple look, like, you know, beige,
Nike,
like white
it was
trousers.
looking good.
Like he had a nice grey t-shirt on, burgundy t-shirt underneath it. Like, he doesn't really go too rogue these days.
No. To me, I think the best dressed man was JT.
Yep.
He had the cardigan on. He's my best of the day.
Look at him giving the thumbs up there in the photo.
Yeah. Solid. His usual stuff. The cardigan for the Open, I think, is just classy.
Yeah, I like it as well.
So, best dressed today is JT. Worst dressed, I'm giving Tom McKibben. And those pink, purpley banana or Barney trousers. Whatever. I actually thought Ricky was really well dressed. He was like in an emerald green.
Okay.
Kind of like an Irish thing.
I don't have Ricky.
No, that's fine.
I don't have
it's
Ricky
only just come to me when I saw him at one stage. It was like an emerald green. It was like it was a dark green. So yeah, I think other than that, it was fairly. I think everyone was fairly safe.
Yeah, no one outrageous.
Maybe
all pretty straight.
An outrageous fan.
Oh yeah, let me try to get that picture real quick. Buy us some time there.
Talk
talk about something.
we spoke about this before, and you and I kind of differ on the decision on what to wear going to a golf tournament. And in terms of what do you wear, I've gone full Tour Pro. I'm wearing all my golf gear. My suitcase is all my golf gear. I'm going to be wearing golf gear the whole time. I like wearing my golf gear. So some people go to the extreme. Some people wear nothing, and that's perfectly fine. But this guy, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. This guy went all out.
We're getting there, don't we?
It was a fairly outrageous get-up, but he went deep into the Irish side of the Open, and
It's not letting us do it.
I think it was on our socials. Anyway, it was on our socials. It was bright, luminous green, shamrocky trousers and a kind of matching top with I think a paddy hat, and yeah, it was fairly intense. But yeah, he was probably. I'm going to give him the best dressed fan of the day.
Okay, interesting. We had even on the practice days, we had a couple of guys who dressed up like 4 lads in matching polos.
Yeah,
in full outfit. That was very impressive. It's not letting me upload it.
I also thought there was one. I know we're running out of time right now, but the last one I think was there was like a Happy Gilmore ice hockey jersey, but just said the Open on it, and there was a lot of lads wearing those as well, which was an interesting decision, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's not going to upload.
The big Happy Gilmore jerseys, but it had the Open written on it. But yeah, interesting to see what lads go for tomorrow. But yeah, for my very first championship day of a major, I loved it. I can't wait for tomorrow. I will be up early. I'll be over there. Like I said, we're a pitch and wedge, maybe a 9-iron from the first tee. I loved walking around. I loved soaking the atmosphere. I loved seeing walking a couple of holes with lads, and yeah, I'm just buzzing like it's the Open.
So if someone's down tomorrow, who is the one person they have to go and see? So Bryson DeChambeau finished 7 over today. And he looks like a man who's a little bit shell-shocked and a lot annoyed at himself.
Worst opening round in a major, 78.
Yeah, that's tough. Feel bad for him because
so do I.
He's incredibly likable, and only more likable when you actually meet him in person.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely see why there's mania. I think
he's the person you want to go and see.
Yeah, and I think you need to spend some time in the Rory or Shane craze.
Group. Yeah.
You mightn't see much, but you will get the feeling we talked about.
See, the thing with Rory and Shane is if you're a golf fan and you're going to the Open, you're probably also going to the Irish Open, and you'll get to see them there, and there'll be less fans at that as well.
But I think you need to feel that crowd energy following them.
Yeah.
And I think that's important at the major, because I've never felt that energy on a golf course before. It's my first
never
major.
Felt that way before, no.
Whoa, let's not go that deep. But I'm saying I never felt that at a golf tournament before. That deep crowd, I've been to Old Trafford. You score a goal, the chance. I get the feeling of that. I get that crowd atmosphere. I've never felt it at golf. I've never been at a major, and that was there. And at the moment, the big ones are Rory, Shane, Harrington, and Bryson. I think are the fan favourites.
Yeah. What I will say is prepare yourself for a long day. These 18 holes take a long time. Like Rory teed off at 3:10, and it's 9:15. That's a long day out, especially when you're getting all kinds of weather. So regardless of who you're going out to go and follow, just do be prepared that it's going to take a long time. So you will also have a lot of time to see a lot of everyone. I guess is a good thing.
Yeah, and I think please comment on this, who you're following or who you think it would be a good follow tomorrow, and I'd like to see who people are, who everyone's gravitating towards. I think that'd be a cool
who
thing.
are the fan favorites? And then so there's also you have like a open fact file. So tomorrow what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a quiz as part of our live stream tomorrow. We'll ask you guys a few questions around the Open. You comment in there. We'll try to find some prizes for you. We'll go back to the unbelievable shop in the Open.
I'm calling it Megastore.
It's very big. It's definitely a big shop.
Yeah, I need to get one more present, so I'll definitely be back in there tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys in person up there.
Yeah, come up to us and have a chat.
It's cool to chat to a few people. A couple of people came up to us in the morning. We're like, oh, we're actually going to your golf day on 21st of August. So if you want to go to the golf day as well, go to our socials, our Instagram. The golf barbecue, drinks at the turn now as well, which is going to be massive. Don't drive. It's probably the best thing to say. Guys, thank you very much. This is day 3 of our live coverage. We've got
Rory
3 more to
Rory
go.
just birdied
There we are.
17. Okay.
Anything in the red numbers, and he's not even happy with it. He's just, just.
Tell you,
not that happy. About it.
I reckon. So we have the door open, and we said we're close. He birdies 18. We hear it,
Yeah.
and that is really cool.
To be honest with you, given how long this is taking, it's probably going to take 20 minutes for him to even get to.
Well, we'll open the next pot with what it was like.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We've gone over. This has been our longest one so far, 45 minutes. We tried to keep it to. We said they'd be 20, so at least it's not 2 hours. Thank you guys for watching, for tuning in. Thank you for your comments and questions. Like I said, we're going to do a little bit of a quiz tomorrow and over the next few days. Till then, we'll see you in the next one.
On the tee, Jack Nicklaus.
This is the minute the millions around the world have